Hello and assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Kashif Kamran and welcome to the debrief session for the pre-scene for December 23. Let's start our discussion around the pre-scene for December 23. You can see the picture of cloud, and that's where the pre-scene has been built up around the cloud computing industry. Okay, now in terms of the SBL December 23 pre-scene, the case is based on a cloud service industry, with the organization in focus being NCTECH, a well-known cloud service company operating in far land, a developed country, which is the home to many technological companies. So it is a developed country, and where this company is operating, NCTECH, and it is home to many technological companies as well. So it means a lot of competition, right? A lot of competitive rivalry as well, because it's a developed country. The pre-scene info was spread on 8 pages, excluding the title page and the table of content. So this time around, the content in the pre-scene was a bit lesser in comparison to the September 23 pre-scene, but again, 8 pages of reading is good enough, and 8 pages of information, and going through that information and summarizing it is a challenge itself. In line with the previous pre-scene for September 23, and as mentioned by the examining team, the pre-scene information is always split into 2 parts. The first part being about the industry, and the second part being about the organization. So that's the basic purpose of pre-scene. And each time you will see the pre-scene in SBL, it will give you the industry side and the organization side, and that was the case for the December 23 pre-scene as well. Before moving into the December 23 pre-scene, the drilling of that, let's first look into the learnings from the September 23 examiner report, that what exactly the examining team has to say for SBL September 23 exam sitting, which was the first one under the pre-scene content. So let's learn something from there, and then let's apply that to the pre-scene debrief for December 23. Okay, now let's see the examiner perspective from the very first exam setting, September 23, where the pre-scene came in, and let's see what is the examiner telling us. September 23 was the first SBL examination to be supported by pre-scene. This pre-scene presented candidates with an overview of an airline industry and further background information related to core jets. This included some historical context, its recent performance, a review of the key resources, a risk and its mission, vision and values. And these are all the similar things you will also find in the case of the NCTECH, which we will be looking at shortly. The pre-scene is designed specifically to allow candidates to establish a sound understanding of the forthcoming examination industry and the company context. What is the purpose of pre-scene? The pre-scene is published so that you gain understanding and familiarity with the forthcoming industry and the company. Now, for you all, December 23, you are gaining understanding of the cloud computing industry and about NCTECH ahead of your December 23 exams. So you should gain understanding. That's number one. So that is what the examining team is telling us, understanding. So this is the first thing. This should mean that candidates are better equipped. So they want to better equip you to analyze and understand the exhibit information that is presented to them on the day of exam. So whatever exhibit information you will get on the day of exam, we know there are like 4 extra exhibits you will get on the day of exam for December 23. So when you're reading through that 4 specific exhibits, and you have a lot of understanding about NCTECH, you have a lot of understanding about cloud computing, you have a lot of understanding about the terminologies being used in. So that will really help you on the day of exam when you're reading through the exhibit. So better equipping you through the understanding you're taking now. So understanding and the better equipping helping you on the day of exams. Importantly, candidates must understand that pre-scene information should not be used for question spotting. So Probably a student might ask me in the debrief today, which questions we should do around pre-scenes? None. Because we're not spotting questions, we're just absorbing pre-scene. We're just understanding pre-scene. We're just trying to ensure that the pre-scene gets absorbed in our mind, and a summary of that, which can be helpful for you to read every day ahead of your exam. So no question spottings, because what the examining team is telling us about the questions is very interesting. Please, all of you, ensure that you're not doing any annotations on the screens, because that will distract my recording. Questions will not be set on information specifically located in the pre-scene. The questions will be set from the exhibits on the day of exam. So there will be 4 exhibits on the day of exam, and there will be 3 tasks. So the task will connect to the exhibits on the day of exam. So if you start spotting the questions from the pre-scene, that is of no use. I hope you're understanding the bullet number 1 and 2 on your screen very effectively. Are you all? I'm just waiting for your replies. Can you just give me a quick reply? Is the bullet number 1 and 2 understood by all of you? It's not about question spotting, because the questions will come from the exhibits, which will be given to you on the day of the exam, which is very, very important. But yes, the familiarity and the understanding of the pre-scene can help you answer those questions in a more better manner. The questions on the exam day will be focused primarily on the information contained within the examination exhibit. So within the examination exhibits, and how many exhibits we have on the exam day? 4. And this is what a candidate will be expected to focus on as a primary source for development of their answer. So the information contained within the exhibits, that is from where the task will generate. And this will be considered as a primary source for the development of the answer. Now, does that mean that the pre-scene information shouldn't be used in the development of the answer? Yes or no? Tell me. Examiner is saying that the information contained in the examination exhibit will be the primary source of the answer. So does that mean we should not take any information from the pre-scene? Very good answer. No, we should take. Should we take it forcefully, or wherever relevant, wherever applicable, wherever needed? So it's not like in every answer, task 1A, task 1B, you need to link the pre-scene. But yes, where relevant, where possible, where you remember, and you can recall something, you will just relate that with the pre-scene information, right? But it's not like forcefully in every task 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, something like that. It's not like forcefully linking it, right? So what is the primary source of answer? All of you, what is the primary source of answer? The information contained in examination exhibits. But there has to be some sort of a linkage with pre-scene where possible. It's not like 100% in every task. It could be in a certain task, and it could not be in a certain task. Is that clear? The bullet number 3 to all of you? Okay, great. Moving on. Of course, some information in the pre-scene will be useful to support points made in the answers. Look at this. Some. So if you think that I need to relate everything to pre-scene, no. Some of the information in pre-scene can give you a support to your answer. But if you're thinking about 100% absorption of pre-scene, that's impossible. So 100% pre-scene information will be absorbed in your answer, yes or no? 100% pre-scene will be absorbed in your answer? No. Can some of it be absorbed? Like 10%, 15%, 20%? Yes. So a lot of time, I heard students from September 23 exam saying that none of the information from pre-scene were applicable to the answers. That's quite true. So if the pre-scene is just making you familiar, the pre-scene is just making you equipped for the day of exam. It's just giving you an idea of the upcoming industry and the upcoming organization, and it's reducing the time to read in the exam hall. because now you have 195 minutes. Before you used to have 240 minutes. Okay, but candidates must avoid copy pasting large sections of pre-scene into their answers. This is not what the pre-scene is for. It is to assist candidates with the overall understanding of the industry and the company, not to provide the main source of examination answer. See this, not to provide as the main source of examination answer. Look at this last line. Look at this last line. What is the main source? What is the primary source? The primary source is the examination exhibits. Pre-scene can help you with some information. Pre-scene can help you with some information, but it is not to provide as the main source of answer. Can you develop 100% of your answer from pre-scene and ignoring the exhibits? Yes or no? Can you develop 100% of your answer from pre-scene and ignoring the exhibits? No. Can 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 you develop 100% of your answer from the examination exhibits? Yes. And can you take some help from pre-scene in some of the areas of your answers where possible? Yes. So copy pasting. Examiner was so critical of September 23 exam setting that the student did more copy pasting in comparison to the June 23 exams. They just copy chunks of text. For what? If you copy something, you need to rephrase it. If you copy something, you need to explain it, develop it. So suppose I copy a sentence, that's quite fine. But then I need to convert that sentence into my own explanation, into my own point development. Is copy pasting prohibited? No. Copy pasting is allowed. That's the beauty of the computer-based exams. But with the copy pasting, when I'm writing the answer, the copy pasting can help me remember something. But I need to rephrase the copy pasting. I need to develop the copy pasting into my well-developed point in SBL. And what is the definition of a well-developed point? 3 to 4 sentences long. But just a copy pasting without any efforts, without adding any value, is that what the examining team looking for, all of you? Alone copy pasting. Alone copy pasting. Is that what the examining team looking for? No. Are you adding any value? Think about it. So if you copy paste something, ask a question to yourself, am I adding any value? If you are, that's good. If you are not, please delete the copy pasting. So I hope this perspective of examining team from September 23 will help you out on the day of exam, which is not very far away. Have you learned something out from this examiner perspective? How to use pre-scene? What is the primary source of the answer? From where the questions will be set from, and how can you use the pre-scene? Pre-scene isn't the primary source. Pre-scene isn't the answer itself. So pre-scene can just be used where possible. So I hope you have a sound and a clear understanding of how to utilize the pre-scene for December 23 exams. Okay, now moving forward and taking on the pre-scene for today. I'm just putting off my camera for a minute so you can see the screen in front. Okay, is SWOT a better way to absorb the pre-scene info and retain for the day of exams? And I found it really effective. When I was doing my preparation for pre-scene, I just utilized the case and made SWOT analysis. Wherever I was getting strengths of NCTECH, wherever I was getting weaknesses of NCTECH, opportunities in thread, I just keep dumping it under SWOT. And at the end of the day, it becomes such a good summary for me. So I know what are the good sides of NCTECH, what are the weak sides of NCTECH, where NCTECH can explore future opportunities, and what are threats which they should be worried about in future, because that is how the strategic business leader sitting in NCTECH board can view the organization. So is SWOT a realistic model to view the company holistically, all of you? Is SWOT a good model if you're a strategic business leader at NCTECH to view your company in terms of a 360-degree perspective, in terms of like a helicopter view, all of you? So is SWOT a really good model at a strategic level? giving you an idea about your whole organization. You know where are the limitations, you know where are the challenges, you know where are the where we have the strengths. So can you know your capabilities through SWOT analysis? Can you know your capabilities through SWOT analysis? Yes. Can you know your challenges through SWOT analysis? And can you know your issues, your weaknesses through SWOT analysis? And can that be really helpful when you're devising a strategy for future? So when you are devising a strategy for future growth, can your internal capabilities, your challenges and issues be important in that? So I think the best way to retain NCTECH for your exams in December is through a SWOT analysis. So I have that perspective. You can develop a summary in any way, right? Because we know this is not the primary source of the answer, but some points of it can be helpful in the day of exam. So let's do a SWOT analysis around NCTECH. So let's investigate the pre-scene and let's investigate some key aspects of the pre-scene. Again, I'm not reading word by word, line by line. This session is not about reading the pre-scene. This session is just about debriefing the pre-scene. And the assumption is all of you should read the pre-scene before the debrief. So let's open it up. Okay. I hope you can all see the pre-scene on your screen now. Please confirm that. Just 1 second, sorry. I hope you can all see the pre-scene now in front of your screen. Okay, I will enable the camera and I'll keep putting it off when needed because I just want you to focus on the screen. Okay, now this is the pre-scene. We just discussed 8 pages of pre-scene, leaving the title page and leaving the table of content. We have 8 pages of reading as a student. I hope you've read through it. And while you were reading through it, you must have highlighted something as I have done it. You must have taken notes of it. And then you must have made your summaries. Have each one of you made your summaries? Tell me. Have each one of you made your core points, key points, which you will be revising every 2 days, 3 days before the exam? Okay, so I'll be sharing my summary, right? And you can, then it's your option which summary you want to go with, your own or mine, because we can have different perspectives to one thing, right? And that's the beauty of a theoretical paper, different perspective, but all of those perspectives are valuable and well regarded. Okay, so just let's a quick browse. So introduction. NCTECH is a well-known cloud service company operating in Farland, a developed country. And being a developed country, there are lots of many technological companies operating. So a lot of competitive rivalry. NCTECH was founded by 3 software engineers. NCTECH has grown dramatically during the first 10 years of operation. So that's something good to know about. So they have a very good growth as a business in the first 10 years of their operations. Their founding, uh, the 3 engineers who founded them are fully committed to business and currently holds the position of the chief executive officer, commercial director, and operation director. So the 3 founding owners are very committed to the business, right? Fully committed to the business, and they're holding key positions in the company just to ensure that the focus why NCTECH was formed 10 years ago is not lost. So this is quite a good strength, right? This is a capability that the founding owners are still part of your organization, and they just don't want NCTECH to distract from the purpose why it was made 10 years ago. So this, to me, this is a strength of them. Well-known cloud service organization. So this is their capability. This is their strength, right? Okay, then you have a lot of cloud service industry information coming up. They're telling you about that cloud service company offer data storage facilities. So that is what the cloud service companies do, right? They're offering you the data storage facilities, and they're offering you wide range of computing services over the internet. Competitive pricings have made cloud service a financial viable options for organizations of all size because there is a lot of competition, right? So because of a lot of competitions, the prices are competitive. We have seen it's a Farland. Farland is a developed country. There are a lot of technological companies in Farland. So competitive pricings have made this financially viable for a lot of companies in Farland to avail the cloud services, right? Okay. The cloud service industry in Farland has been established more than a decade and continues to grow, right? So this industry was established 10 years ago, and that's exactly the time NCTECH was established as well. And since then, there has been a substantial growth in the industry. So this is like an opportunity. If you look at the key statistics, the percentage of client data stored on the cloud, globally, it's 52%. And for Farland, it's 38%. So quite a good pace for Farland, considering this industry is just 10 years old. 38% of the client data is on cloud storage, which is remarkable. The total revenue generated by all cloud service providers globally, it's like 155 billion. And for Farland, it's already reaching 8.3 billion in just 10 years of its operation. So quite a rapid growth of this industry. 8.3 billion of revenue for all service providers in 10 years, and 38% of the data being stored on cloud. Top 10 companies and their share in the market, 85%. So this means that there's quite an intense rivalry. Top 10 companies is holding 85% share in the market. So intense rivalry among all those 10 players fighting with one another for encroaching the market share, grabbing the market share, competitive pricings, 10 companies with 85% shares. So pricing will be crucial, because if you slightly increase the price, you might be losing the customer. Else you go with differentiation. So differentiation could be a very good strategy, because I think touching upon the price would be very sensitive with 10 companies holding 85% shares. Globally, 10 companies hold 74% shares. So that's quite almost identical to what we're looking into the Farland as well. So this is the information. Now to the important point. I hope you all know I've already covered that under my syllabus area E in my regular courses. The examining team article on application of new technology part 3. Have you all read that application of new technology part 3, the article and my video on that in my regular course? Because that is an area which is on cloud computing. Examining team has covered every aspect of cloud computing in that article. Let me just show you that. If you go to your examining articles, I hope you can see the examining articles now on your screen. Everyone, please confirm that. Technical articles website in front of you. Okay, and you go down into the syllabus area E, technology and data analytics, and you see this article here, application of new technology part 3, and you click on it and you will get this article now. And this article was a very good article the examining team wrote around cloud computing, every aspect of cloud computing, the benefits to the business, and then more importantly, the terminologies which has been used in the pre-scene as well, the private cloud, the public cloud, the hybrid cloud. You can learn them from here. The 3 types of services, the IaaS, the PaaS, and the SaaS, it's all been covered here. So you can just read through this examining team version of the different service models and the different types of delivery models and the benefits from this article. So this article will be important, because if you want to understand what IaaS is, or what PaaS is, or what the SaaS is, what is the private cloud, what is the public cloud, what is the hybrid cloud, you can learn them from here. So this article will be the backbone of the pre-scene reading. So when you're going with pre-scene, please ensure this article is a must to read article. I hope you're clear on that, right? So that is what I have referred here. I've just put a clip, and with the clip, I hope you can see the screen back again, the pre-scene screen back again on your gadgets. Examining team article, application of new technology part 3. So if you want to understand the cloud service models, IaaS, I'm not reading through that, PaaS, and the SaaS, so software, platform, and infrastructure. Please read through it and read the examining team article. The SaaS, the software as a service, it's a premium service, and it is the most expensive. So out of the 3 service models, infrastructure, Platform and software. The software as a service is the most expensive one. It's a premium service. So that's what you need to focus on. Just keep that in mind. The range and extent of services offered under each model determines the fee. So how much fees will you charge depends upon the services you're offering. Examining team has given you a breakup of the three services: IaaS, infrastructure, platform, and software. And they've given you the tick marks, what sort of services are offered under each. So under SaaS, we're offering all services, and that's why it's the most expensive option a client can take in. Be clear with the terminologies: infrastructure, software, and platform. So you know exactly what they mean. You're very clear on that. If you're unclear, read examining team article. If you're unclear, go on the Google and search what IaaS means, PaaS means, or SaaS means. You can get a layman definition of the three on Google. Okay, the service delivery models. Again, this was covered in the examining team article, application of new technology, part 3. Three service models: either it's a public cloud, it's a private cloud, or it's a hybrid cloud. Please read through that from the examining team article as well as from the pre-scene. I've just mentioned, I'll be sharing this PDF with you with all my markings. I've mentioned where to read the articles. I've given the tick marks, so you know these paragraphs are important to read. So wherever you see my tick marks, they are important paragraphs to read. I've given you the references to the articles here. So this will be saved and shared with you on the portal. Okay, now knowing the types of services and the delivery models, knowing the industry facts, 10 years ago, this was established. We know how many companies are competing for 85% market share in Farland and every other thing. Let's go down looking at the benefits of the cloud services to client. Please ensure you know the benefits of cloud services to client, because that is what examining team has already covered in the article as well. So read the benefits from the article, reads the benefit from here, because again, there could be something in somewhere in your answers where you need to write in the benefits, because again, this is not the primary source of answer, but you might need to write somewhere the benefits in your answers. So be assured you know the benefits very well. So I've already given a tick mark here. Please ensure you read through it. Okay, this is very important paragraph, right? Cloud service industry challenges and developments. Now, challenges means and development means we're getting a lot of opportunities and threats from here. So I've just written over here, do the opportunity and threat analysis from the information below, because this information here is giving you a lot of guidance about what are threats and opportunities for this particular industry. Number one, the Farland cloud service sector is growing very rapidly and is anticipated to double in size over the next 5 years. So this is an opportunity, right? I have given over here O and T, opportunity and threat. It is an opportunity because you're growing, the industry is growing. So that means you have a lot of potential to grow, a lot of potential to improve your profitability and your revenue and your market share. But there is also a threat of a new entrant. There is also a threat of a competition rising, threat of a rivalry rising. So under the port of 5 forces, you might see a threat of a new entrant coming in, or a rivalry increasing. The opportunity is to grow because it is anticipated to rapidly grow in the next 5 years. So do you understand this first point as an O and as a T, all of you? Okay, great. The next point, more global competition is emerging. So the industry may become dominated by a small number of large, well-established companies, consolidating the industry. Consolidation is an opportunity, right? Because that will reduce the competition. So it's an opportunity that what we foresee that the industry will consolidate. Small companies will go off, or small companies will be acquired by the big ones, and the industry will consolidate. So that means few players having the chunk of the market. So is that an opportunity for NCTECH, established 10 years ago? Can they be part of this, grabbing this opportunity of consolidating the industry? Can they think about acquiring a company? Can there be a question about acquisition of a potential cloud company? Because if you've read the case, currently NCTECH is not offering PAAS and SAAS. Agree, disagree, if you've all read the case. Currently, NCTECH is not offering software as a service and platform as a service. So if they want to grab the market share, instead of offering those services themselves, can they acquire a company within the industry who's already offering them? Can they go with the acquisition growth model? Can they go with an acquisition growth model rather than an organic growth model? They can. So can this be an opportunity for NCTECH to acquire a company and grab the market share as quickly as possible? Because they're currently not offering platform as a service and software as a service. So to me, this is an opportunity, right? Number 3, clients are highly dependent on high reliable internet speed for cloud services. That's very natural. Currently, this is not an issue. Examining team is saying this is not an issue. So high speed internet is available in farland. It is critical that farland internet and broadband infrastructure keep pace with demand. This could become a threat if the farland industry fails to keep the infrastructure, the internet and broadband infrastructure with the demand. So this can become a potential threat in future if farland internet and broadband infrastructure fails to keep demand in the growth in the cloud industry. So currently this is not a problem, but in future this could be. So we need to be watchful. Another threat, constant risk of hacking, data loss, and distributed denial of service. So this is a threat with cloud computing. Another threat in number 5, regulatory requirements with cloud services are evolving and may turn out to be more challenging. So more challenging regulatory requirements evolving over years. So this might be a regulatory threat for the cloud computing companies. Number 6, constant demand for highly skilled employees. But look at here, it says they are in short supply in farland. So this is a threat. You need highly skilled employees, but they are in short supply. So this is a threat. You need to offer them good salaries to attract them. Any competitor who offers a good salary will attract the short supply of skilled labor and will be in an opportunistic position. Otherwise, it's a threat. So do you need to retain your highly skilled employees, sorry? Do you need to attract your highly skilled employees by offering them good packages and salary? So is that important for strategic business leader to consider here, retention and attraction of employees? So do you all believe attraction and retention of employees is critical here for NCTECH? Is it? Is it not? I'm waiting for your answers. So do you believe attraction and retention of employees are important? Do you need to offer them good salaries and packages to motivate them, to retain them? Otherwise, you will lose a competitive advantage, right? So will you be going through this point number 1 to 6, or have you made a summary of these point number 1 to 6 already? Industry challenges and development, because there are a lot of opportunities and threats here which you need to capture in. Okay, then cloud service innovations. This is important. I'll just be showing you my Word file shortly, which I've developed after reading these 8 pages. I'm just reading these 8 pages quickly with you, so I give you an idea that I read this and then made my Word file. Cloud service innovation. This is so important. It says, following areas of technological development have been identified as being vital to the future success of cloud service business, where NCTECH is, which provides the SaaS service model. Is NCTECH providing the SaaS service model already? No. But in future, if NCTECH opt for offering this model, should they be concerned with the technological advancements in SaaS area given by the examining team? So can there be a strategic option? Can the question ask you to evaluate the strategic option to enter into the SaaS model? Can they ask you that Can the company acquire another company to get hold of the SaaS service model? So I written over here. Look at this. Can you see the red sentence on your screen? Is that possible for you to read? Can you see this red sentence here? Possible strategic options to explore and work in future. Could possibly be a question where a certain exhibit on a day of exam asks you with additional information, evaluate the strategic option and recommend one. So is um, SaaS and PaaS can be two strategic options for NCTECH. Agree or disagree? For the future growth of NCTECH, is SaaS and PaaS two strategic options? Can a question in a certain exhibit ask you to evaluate the two strategic options? Which one is better? And to evaluate the two strategic options, can a question ask you, should the company go with an organic growth, develop themselves, or should they go with an acquisition because the industry is consolidating? Because the industry is consolidating, so there might be a need of a quick acquisition, and probably the acquisition model will give you a quick access to SaaS and PaaS. So if you want to acquire SaaS and PaaS in a shortest passage of time, acquire a company. This could be asked as an evaluation, as a proposal. Evaluate the proposal to acquire a company. A couple of times in the past papers, we have seen questions around evaluate the proposal to acquire. Or can a question ask you to evaluate the strategic options of SaaS and PaaS? Are you getting this, all of you? Good. So what sort of innovations can be possible in SaaS if you acquire a company and you got hold of SaaS? Currently, you don't have SaaS, right? But if you got hold of SaaS, what sort of developments you need to look for in future? Number one, business intelligence. Please read that. Quantum computing. Please read that. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. Is there an examining team article on artificial intelligence and machine learning? Do anyone remembers? There is an article by the examining team on artificial intelligence and machine learning. Seems important. Look at this article on your screen. World of Intelligent Agents. You open up this article, World of Intelligent Agent, and you see this article has been written around artificial intelligence. And this article has been written as this article is telling us about the use of artificial intelligence. This article is also telling us about machine learning. And this article is also telling us about the ethical problems, the ethical issues with machine learning. I hope you can see them right here. Ethics. The ethical issues with artificial intelligence. This is an important article because one of the upcoming technologies in SaaS is artificial intelligence and machine learning. So if a question comes around artificial intelligence or machine learning, or there is an additional exhibit on the day of exam asking you something about artificial intelligence and machine learning as options to boost your SaaS service, then examiner might ask you something about ethics of artificial intelligence, something about any aspect of artificial intelligence. So please ensure this particular article is also very, very important around machine learning and artificial intelligence. So what are technological developments in SaaS? 4. Quantum, business intelligence, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. If you want to grow your SaaS model, you need to think about them. Currently, NCTECH does not have a SaaS model, but a question might ask you a strategic option to evaluate SaaS model. So if they got hold of the SaaS model, what sort of things they should be looking for in a SaaS model to grow? They should be looking for either the business intelligence, either the quantum computing, either artificial intelligence, or they should be looking at machine learning. Okay, then next you have the KPIs, such a critical area of SBL, evaluating organizational performance, syllabus area G. I hope you've read an article in syllabus area G, assessing organization performance. evaluating organization performance. Look at the red sentence I've written here. Syllabus area G, assessing organizational performance. Very typical question in SBL, that you need to assess the company's performance against the stated KPIs. So please ensure what are the KPIs, operational KPIs given. Please be sure about the financial KPIs given to you. And you might be asked in a question to assess the company's actual performance against the stated KPIs. So that is a syllabus area G basically, right? I'll just show you my Word file where I've already done the analysis of KPIs with the financial information given in this pre-scene. Okay, now finally about NCTECH. Some of the information about NCTECH has already been read. 10 years ago, it was established by 3 engineers. The 3 engineers holds the important positions in the companies. I'm not just reading through that. This is important information. Can you see the yellow? NCTECH has never offered PaaS and SaaS service model. And that's where the question might come in with a specific exhibit on the day of exam. And a specific exhibit on the day of exam might ask you, evaluate the strategic options of PaaS and SaaS. That which one to offer first? Which one to offer first? So please be sure you're very clear about what is platform as a service and what is software as a service by reading the examining team article and the information given to you in the pre-scene. Ownership. NCTECH is now a listed company, and 5 years ago they became listed, so it's a listed company. Each of the 3 original shareholders still have 10% stake in NCTECH. So each of them has 10% stake, so that makes 30%. The remaining 70% are held by a number of institutional investors. Can a question around institutional investor be possible? Examiner team asking you something about role and benefits of institutional investor. I already uploaded a video on institutional investor in my syllabus area B in the last few weeks. I hope you've got hold of that. So knowledge about institutional investor is not bad. You should have it on the safe side for your upcoming exams, because we're not seeing questions around institutional investor, not much in SBL. December 23, you might see a question around that. Again, we're not spotting the questions, we're just thinking around it. Okay, so you are familiar with shareholding of this company, right? Okay, the current, in the next paragraph, okay, in the next paragraph, it says the current board membership has not changed in the last 5 years. What is the governance recommendation of changes in the board structure? Do anyone remember? The current board membership has not changed in the last 5 years. What is the recommendation of corporate governance? Anyone? Re-election? No, not re-election every year. Re-election at least once every 3 years. Re-election at least once every 3 years. So in this company, the board memberships have not changed for 5 years. Is this a weakness against corporate governance? All of you. Is this a weakness against the corporate governance? Should you be critical of that in your summary of pre-scene you have made? So current board memberships have not changed for last 5 years. They should have been re-elected after every 3 years, subject to their performance appraisal. You should appraise their performance, and the directors performing good should be retained, and the directors not performing good should be removed. So currently the directors are serving for very long term. We don't know whether they're performing good or bad. Are there indications of the company's performance going down recently if you've read the pre-scene? Is there any indication in the pre-scene financial information that the company's financial performance is going down? Yes. Can that be because of the directors themselves? Is there a need to appraise the directors against financial performance? Is there a need to appraise the directors against the stated KPIs? Is there a need to change the directors? So can a question come around that possibly? So last 5 years, you're not changing directors, but your performance has gone down. So might question why haven't you changed the directors for last 5 years? And this is a weakness against the corporate governance. Next paragraph. Shares in NCTECH has performed better than other similar technology companies on the far land in the last 5 years. So over the last 5 years, your shares prices have been better than the other companies. So this is one of your strength. However, in the last financial year, there has been an unforeseen and a significant fall in a gross profit. We'll see how much, which has affected the share prices and unsettled some shareholders. So are the shareholders worrying within the last 1 year? They were very happy with you. But in the last 1 year, have they started to worry about this company? So might be the shareholders asked to change the directors. Might be there is an exhibit proposing new directors. The role of the nomination committee coming in. So last 1 year is very critical for NCTECH. Remember that. In last 1 year, their performance has gone down, financial. Criticism, issues, problems can come in your exam paper. So please remember, you know that last 1 year has been very troubling for NCTECH, and the directors have not changed in, and the shareholders have started to get a bit worried about the fall in the gross profit margin. Okay. Then next you have the mission, vision, and corporate values. We know there could be certain requirements in SBL where you can relate them to mission, vision, and values. Something you are doing can be linked back to your values. There might be a question in a certain exhibit which might ask you to relate things to the values of the business, that whatever you are doing, is it in line with the values? Is it in line with your corporate values? So please ensure you remember the values of this business. And you also remember the core values and the mission of this business. Board structure. This is a board structure. How many non-executive directors they have? 5, which is very good. How many directors they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 directors, 5 NEDs. So that's quite a good balance. At least half the board should comprise of the NEDs. So they have very good numbers of NEDs, 5, and 5 executive directors. So that's quite a good blend of directors and non-executive directors. The board structure is very balanced, right? Which is very, very good. Non-executive chair, is that the best practice of corporate governance to have a non-executive chair? Is that the best practice of corporate governance to have a non-executive chair? Yes, very good. Is the board balanced in terms of EDs and NEDs? Is the board balanced in terms of EDs and NEDs? Yes, so that's quite good. How many committees they have? Do they have all the 4 committees of corporate governance? Is that good? Do they have all the 4 committees of corporate governance? Is that good? Yes, but are there any problems with the committees? Let's see that. Audit committee, comprising of 3 non-executive directors. Is that good? Should audit committee have all NEDs? So that's excellent, right? 3 non-executive directors, all of whom have strong background in finance. What is the recommendation of corporate governance for strong background in finance? At least 1 NED should have it. At least 1. So over here, they have all 3. Is that good? At least 1. Currently, they have all 3 with strong financial background. Is that good? Is that bad? Good. Because what the audit committee has to look into, internal controls, financial statements, external auditor. So the audit committee role is into finance, right? So if all 3 directors have a good knowledge of finance, so that's really good to work as audit committee. Nomination committee, which is run by the non-executive chair and comprise of all non-executive director. Is that right? Is that wrong? Should nomination committee have all non-executive directors? Wrong. Nomination committee should have a blend of executives and non-executives, not all NEDs. Which 2 committees in corporate governance should have all NEDs? Which 2 committees in corporate governance should have all NEDs? Audit and remuneration. Very good answer, Laureen. Mohammed Umair, audit and remuneration. But nomination committee should have executive directors, right? So will this be a criticism? Will you criticize this if asked for? Criticism. Red is wrong. Red is wrong, right? Remuneration committee, comprising of 3 non-executive directors with a human resource director providing members with professional guidance. Can there be a human resource director in the remuneration committee? Can there be a human resource director in the remuneration committee? Is that right? Is that wrong? No, wrong, right? It should comprise of all NEDs. It should comprise of all NEDs. So can a question around weaknesses in corporate governance be asked in? We have a couple of weaknesses, right? Uh, directors have not been changed for last 5 years. There is a issue in the way the nomination committee has been set up. There is an issue in the way the remuneration committee has been set up. Okay, last one, risk committee, comprising of two non-executive directors and the commercial director and an operation director. So is that fine? A blend of executives and non-executive, two non-executives, two executives. Is that fine? Yes. So the only issue we have is the issue in nomination committee and remuneration committee. So that is the two reds, right? The two reds is the danger. The two reds is the issue. So just let's put a cross mark here. This is wrong. This is wrong. Just let's put a right. Audit committee is right and risk committee is right. So will you remember that? Because I'll take a printout of this and upload on the portal. So will you remember the rights and wrongs, all of you? Okay, great. Okay, risk register. NCTECH is fully compliant with the Farland Corporate Governance Code, but we see some sort of non-compliances as well under the Remuneration and Nomination Committee, so that needs to be looked into skeptically. Risk register. We know an SBL paper without risk is impossible. Risk is such a favorite area of your examining team. In almost every exam setting, we do find a question around risk register, risk mitigation, risk management, evaluating the adequacy of risk register, or evaluating the adequacy of the risk management approach being adopted by the management. These are favorite areas of examining team. Look at the red statement. Can you all see this red statement here? This red statement here. Risk is the examiner's most favorite examinable area. Questions around risk management, assessment, mitigation, evaluating the adequacy of risk register, management risk approach are common questions in past paper. I hope you've seen these questions in prior papers. So examining team is telling us there is a register. So they are maintaining a register. Can a question ask you evaluate the adequacy of risk register? Have you seen question like that in past papers? Give me answers. Evaluate the adequacy of risk register. Can a question around that be possible? Again, we're not spotting questions. This is just a thought process, right? Okay. So they have a register and the register have risk. Good. They have a risk committee and risk committee determines the nature and extent of the risk NCTECH is willing to accept to deliver success. The risk committee is also responsible for maintaining and monitoring the system of internal controls and risk management. So that's the function of the risk committee. They're responsible for maintaining and monitoring the system of internal control and risk management. And the risk committee determines the nature and extent of risk NCTECH is willing to accept. So we had the risk committee, right? Yes, risk committee comprised of two executives and two non-executive directors, and they're determining the nature and extent of risk NCTECH is willing to accept. So these are the two roles they are currently playing in. Risk management activities are coordinated by a team led by a risk manager. Please be sure you know the role of risk manager. A question can ask you, explain the role of a risk manager, because they have a team led by a risk manager. Explain the role of the risk committee. Please be sure that you know the roles of the risk committee, you know the roles of the risk manager to be on the safe side, right? Adequacy of the risk register. Please be sure you know what comes in a risk register. What are columns of risk register? What is included in risk register? So content of the risk register, what is put in the risk register, role of the risk manager, role of the risk committee. You should be very well prepared for that. So at least something good, they have a manager, risk manager, at least something good, they have a risk committee. So everything seems to be very fine so far, so forth. Okay, principal business risk. Risk has to be categorized under SWOT, under threats. I've already done that in my Word file. I'll show you. So I put all the risk under the threat area. What if a question comes in the exam paper which asks you the likelihood and impact of each of the 5 risks? What risks they have? Competitive threat. We know there is a growing competition because this industry is growing. A lot of companies are coming in. So there is a lot of competitive threats. Staffing concern, we've already seen staffing concern that there is a short supply of skilled workers. Technological issues, yes, you are in a technological business, so technological issues like internet availability. Currently, internet availability isn't an issue in Farland, yes or no? Currently, internet availability isn't an issue in Farland, yes or no? So what is the likelihood of the risk number 3, low or high? What is the likelihood of the risk number 3, low or high? Low. What is the likelihood of the risk number 2? Staffing concern. Is there a staffing concern already? Is there a shortage of skilled employees? Yes. And what is the likelihood of the risk number 1, competitive threat? Is it already happening? New companies coming in, 10%, 10 companies holding 85% shares. Yes. So this could be high. Threats. Technological is low. Likelihood. Data security. No information is given to us about data security, but we know there are issues with cybersecurities and hacking. So is data security a high likelihood considering the nature of the industry? But currently the scenario is not telling us about any reality. The examination exhibits on the day of exam might give you some current issues in data security. An exhibit around current hacking attempt or any exhibit around the current data security problems. But currently the case is not telling us about any data security issues. But is data security a high likelihood considering the nature of industry? Okay. Regulatory changes. Was the question telling us about there are evolving regulatory challenges coming in? Did we read somewhere above that there are regulatory challenges coming up? Yes. So is it a high likelihood? So which of the risk is low and high? Just let's write it down quickly because I need to share this file with you. Competitive threat, uh, high likelihood. Okay, staffing concern, high likelihood. I hope you know the reason for that. You're not just rote learning it. Technological issues. Currently, the internet isn't a problem in Farland, so low likelihood. Data security, because it's the nature of the business, so high likelihood. And there could be a specific exhibit on the day of exam, which tells you this. And then the regulatory changes, the question was telling that the regulatory changes are evolving. So this is high likelihood. I hope this all will help you down with the assessment. Please remember the 5 principal risks for the day of exam. Current strategic position. This is their current strengths. I've already incorporated that in my SWOT analysis and their current weaknesses. So you should know what are current weaknesses and current strengths of this company. I've copy pasted them in my Word file, which I'll be showing you at the end of the debrief. So please ensure that you know their current capability as an organization. This is important paragraph to be read. I've given a tick mark there, right? And finally, we have some financial performance. I've already analyzed their financial performance on my Word file. I will show you that. The revenue has gone down from X2 to X3, and that was worrying for the shareholder. Last 1 year performance is bringing a question mark on the directors. The gross profit margin has gone down from the last 1 year, X2 and X3. Rather, if you look at the gross profit margin is going down from X1 to X2 to X3. So last 3 years, it's already going down. Profit before tax has gone down from X2 to X3. Return on capital employed has gone down from X2 and X3, all worrying indicators for a shareholder. You're a listed company. Operational performance, reported security breaches. Is that good? They've gone down. Reported security breaches have gone down. Is that good? Is that bad? Good, right? Service availability to clients, 96%. Is that good? The service availability of client have increased by 96% over the last year. 94, good. Client average satisfaction rating. Is the client satisfied with NCTECH? 85, has it improved over the last year? Yes. And the Farland IaaS market share is 3.2%. So have your market share gone down in terms of IaaS? You're only offering IaaS and your market share is going down in IaaS. So is it high time that we should evaluate the strategic options to enter into PAAS and SAAS? So is the market share of NCTECH in the overall Farland IaaS market going down? Is that worrying? Is it high time that we evaluate the strategic options of PAAS and SAAS? Right? So this is it. Now you must have read the pre-scene. I read it, and you made your notes. I made my notes on the PDF. I hope this session must have given you absorption of the pre-scene, because if you've read it before, this is better absorption, because a lot of things I was discussing with you, you must be knowing before it. So those students who are taking this live session have already read the pre-scene. You are in a better position to understand it, and I hope you've understood it. We almost took like 1 hour of going through the PDF quickly. I'll save it. Look at my remarks on PDF. I hope these remarks will help you somewhere when you're watching the recordings again. I hope this all will help you down. So I'll just save this file with all my annotations and will share with you. Have you benefited from the first 1 hour before we move towards the summary of the pre-scene now as a Word file, which I will be sharing with you? Okay, great. So now the next probably another 30 more minutes and we'll be winding up. But the last 30 minutes is crucial. Look at this. This is what I've done over the last 24 hours before this session. I copy pasted things, what I've discussed with you here. Can you see this SWOT analysis on your screens now? I'll share this with you, right? Now, everything here is what I discussed. Just let's quickly go through it. I put all these SWOT points here, stand up. Some of the strengths and weaknesses were given by the examiner under the heading. Is that correct? We saw that on the sixth page, that some of the strengths and weaknesses were given by the examiner, right? Yes or no? So the strengths and weaknesses given by the examiner under the heading of strengths and weaknesses, I've copy pasted them here. But I've also identified my own strengths and weaknesses, right? So examiner has given you few strengths and weaknesses on page number 6. I have copy pasted them, but I've also wrote some of my own. Let's see what are they. On the column on the left, strengths, I'm first reading the left column quickly, right? Well-known cloud service company. You all know that, NCTECH. Farland, a developed country which is home to many technological companies. That is a strength because you have Porter, Diamond, and a national advantage. If you are operating a business of a cloud computing in a developed country, which is home to technological companies, is that a national advantage to you? Yes or no? Is that a national advantage? That you're operating in a country which has a sound infrastructure, sound internet, sound broadband. So is that an advantage for NCTECH to grow? So that is my strength number 2. Grown dramatically in the last 10 years. We read that. Founders are currently holding the positions of CEO, commercial directors, and operation directors, which is good. At least the founders are part of the board. So at least the vision of the founder will continue. At least the founders will keep the company on track because they are the one who founded it. So that is to me a strength. Shares in NCTECH has performed better than the similar companies over the last 5 years. That is one of the strengths. A good reputation with a core client base. This is what was given by the examiner under the strength on page number 6. Strong relationship with clients. This was given by the examiner. The provision of secure and reliable services, competitively priced. This is the examiner verdict, not mine. Examiner was telling that they have provision of secure and reliable service, and they're competitively priced. A capable and a competent workforce, that was given by the examiner. So they already have a capable and competent workforce already. Reported security breaches have gone down to 141 in X3 from 184 in X2. Service availability to IaaS clients have gone up to 96% in X3 from X2. Client average satisfaction score has gone up from 79 in X2 to 85 in X3. See, I made use of the information This is the information which was given on the last page, last page of the pre-scene, and I did utilize that. See, I just found the percentages at how much things have gone up and down. So lots of strengths for NCTECH. On the right-hand side, you can see the weaknesses. However, in the last financial year, there have been unforeseen fall in profit, which has affected the share prices. Weakness. The current board has not changed for the last 5 years. We read that, right? Weakness. The IaaS service model offered to clients have never changed, so restrict the growth. NCTECH is not offering PaaS and SaaS. I hope you agree with me. They're not offering PaaS and SaaS. It's just relying on IaaS. How long can you rely on IaaS? This can hinder your growth. So this is a weakness currently, right, in your business strategies. Is everyone clear with the point number 3 and a weakness? Good. Several large overseas cloud companies have recently entered Farland. That was given in the question. So lots of companies are entering Farland for cloud services. So that means competition and pressure will be a weakness in terms of the pressure on your market share. This was given by weakness by the examiner on page number, I think page number 8, 9. Deteriorating retentions of key members or staff. This is given by the examiner as a weakness. This is not my weakness. This was given by examiner under the heading of weakness. Deterioration in retention of key members. So they're unable to retain their key members, right? Which is a weakness. Worsening financial performance. See, I've done the worsening financial performance. I've found the calculator and found the percentages. The gross profit margin has fallen from 48.6 to 46.5%. Revenue has gone down by 58.45 million to 57.14 million. There is a fall in revenue by 2%. Return on capital has gone down from 18.2 to 17.2, and profit has gone down from by 5% almost. So I found these percentages. High dependency on internet service provider. This was given by the examiner. So they're relying a high dependency on the internet service provider. And if you rely on someone, that is a weakness, right? Farland IaaS market share has gone down. So your market share has gone down in IaaS, which is a weakness. Then we got a couple of opportunities. I hope you can read that through yourself. These are all opportunities which I extracted, and these are all threats I have extracted from the reading today. One thing which I would like to address in opportunity is this. Look at this red. As NCTECH is currently not offering PaaS and SaaS service model, this can be an opportunity for them in future if the management evaluates these two as strategic options to grow in future. There is a possibility that in an exam, there is an exhibit where management is evaluating the two strategic options to grow. And you are asked for the advice, which one is more beneficial and why, under the syllabus area C. You should be well versed with the examining team article, application of new technology part 3 about PaaS and SaaS, including the information given in pre-scene. So I foresee there might be an exhibit where management is evaluating the strategic options of PaaS and SaaS, and you might be asked to give an advice on that. So please consider that, because currently you're not offering PaaS and SaaS, but this can be a potential opportunity for you if you start offering it, because your market share from IaaS is going down. How much can you rely on IaaS? You cannot just rely on one service model or one service method to build your company. You need to diversify as a company, right? I hope you all agree with me. Currently, you're not diversified. You're just relying on one aspect of cloud computing to boost your revenue, and your revenues are going down, your profits are going down. So if you want to build up your profits and revenue, is it high time you diversify and enter into PaaS and SaaS? So is it a high time? Because your performances are deteriorating. Your market share in IaaS has gone down from 3.4% to 3.2%. So can you develop a business case to enter into SaaS and PaaS? All of you? Is that clear? Okay. Will you read through the opportunities and threats yourself, because it's all what I have discussed in the last 1 hour. I hope you will be able to understand all this, right? Okay, governance. We already read that there is a role of question around a role of institutional investor. That is what my thought process says, because there were 70% shares being held by institutional investors. We read that. The current board membership has not changed in last 5 years. This was a weakness. We identified that. Issues within the subcommittees. We found some issues within the subcommittee, and the issue was basically under the nomination committee and the remuneration committee. So these were the issues because they were not rightly composed. I'm just writing over here. The NC should have executive directors as well. And I'm just writing under the remuneration committee that remuneration committee should only comprise of NEDs. So this was the issues in number 2 and number 3. I'm just highlighting them in yellow so you can remember them for the day of exam. For the audit committee and risk, no problems. Due to debrief, syllabus area B, governance, is an important syllabus area and most frequently examined. Students should be well versed with governance aspects of syllabus, integrated report, role, benefits, evaluation of the performance around 6 capitals is the most tested topic in the SBL paper and shouldn't be ignored. We know examiner is just fond of integrated reporting. It is mentioned in the mission. It is mentioned in the mission and the core values of NCTECH, ethics and maintaining relationship with stakeholders. So student can't ignore any testing around Menlo metrics because there is a lot of focus on shareholders being unsatisfied with your last year financial performance, or there is a lot of focus on stakeholder in your values. So a question around Menlo metrics or a question around corporate social responsibility cannot be ignored in because they have focus on ethics. Finally, diversity of board, role of committees, institutional investor shouldn't be ignored. So these are all potential topics which you should revise in the last 1 week ahead of your exams, right? Under corporate governance. I hope you're fine with that. Should we move on to the next page? Fine, thank you. Next, risk. We read from the case that they maintain a risk register. We read from the case there are 5 principal risk right over here. We had 5 principal risk. We did classify the risk under the likelihoods and impact. We found the risk number 1 as high likelihood. That was competitive threats, and you know the reason for that. We found staffing concern as a high likelihood risk. We found data security as a high likelihood risk and the regulatory challenges. And we found technological issues as low likelihood risk. So we did that on the PDF. I did told you that risk manager, be sure that you know the role of the risk manager. Be sure you know the role of the risk committee. Be sure that you know questions can come around risk register and adequacy. I hope you all know risk register. I hope you all know the contents of risk register. So what is a risk register? What is contained in a risk register? A question asking you evaluating the adequacy of a risk register might be possible that a risk register is given in a certain exhibit on the day of exam. Role of the risk committee and role of the risk manager. That is very, very important. Or a question asking you, evaluating the different views of directors on risk management. You must have seen a question in the past paper where some of the directors were having different views on risk management. Possibility of a question around likelihood and impact of the risk and how to manage them, the TARA framework. Risk management approach, a question around the risk management approach of NCTECH. 4-line of defense. And how can NCTECH use a 4-line of defense model to better assure stakeholders that risk is being managed effectively? 4-line of defense has come very less in past papers. And four line of defense is relatively a new article which was published in last 1.5 years. So please be sure you are reading through the article four line of defense. There could be a question which might ask you that how NCTECH management can use the four line of defense to better assure the stakeholders. A question around the role of the risk manager. So these are all my thought process. Again, I'm not setting the paper, but this is just what my experience tells you here. So I hope you will benefit from these tutor debriefs, additional notes. I hope you will go through them. You will take a printout of this Word file. I've just ensured that each page is on a different topic. We had a page on risk. We had a page on governance. We had 2 pages on SWOT. So the classifications might help you down, right? The next page, mission and core values. Please ensure you remember the core values of the business. Please ensure you remember the mission of the business. I've just put it down here. So once you take a printout, you can just revise what is their core values and what is their mission. A question in the exam in a certain exhibit might ask you to compare the company's decisions or company's actual performance against their values. There might be something the company is doing against the value, and you might be asking a question to evaluate whether something the company is doing is in line with values or not. So please ensure you know the core values. A question might ask to assess company decision or company stance against its stated values. So you should know the stated values of the company. So a question might ask you to assess the company's decision or a company's stance against its stated value. So please ensure that you remember the values, or you might be needing them anywhere in your answer. So just remember they have 4 values: energy, excellence, excitement, and ethics, all 4 E's. So they have 4 E's for you to remember in exam paper: energy, excitement, ethics, and excellence. So these are the 4 areas where they need to focus on as a business. Mission, just ensure you revise the mission of the company, what they were made for 10 years ago by the 3 engineers. Okay, then the current performance of NCTECH against KPIs. I've written a tutor debrief here, and the tutor debrief says syllabus area G, finance and planning and decision making. Element 5 of the syllabus. Element 5 of the syllabus area G states assess the organizational performance using KPIs. So this is already part of your syllabus. Assessing the performance of the organization against the KPIs. This is mentioned in the syllabus area G, note number 5. Please read the examining team article titled Financial Analysis under the syllabus area G. So there is an article, Financial Analysis under the syllabus area G. Let me show you that. Rather, I should change it. Just 1 minute. Under the syllabus area G, there is an article which says not financial analysis, but this one, assessing organizational performance. This one, assessing organizational performance. Syllabus area G, assessing organizational performance. I'm just changing the term here. Assessing organizational performance. So please do read that under syllabus area G. I've done CMI analysis. I've put the KPIs. There are 4 financial KPIs given by examiner. I've given the arrows that which of the KPI is performing down or up. Currently, 3 of the KPIs are going down. The performance against the KPI, sorry, is going down. Operating profit margin, currently in the pre-scene, we have not been given any information about the operating profit margin. We have been given information about the gross profit margin. So I cannot do anything about that. I've just written over here, in the actual performance, no data given. But for the average revenue per client, we have not been given information about average revenue per client, but we have been given information about revenue. And I calculated that revenue of the company has gone down by 2.23%. Revenue has gone down by 2.23%, but we have no information about the number of clients. So if in the exam paper you get the information about number of clients, you can recalculate the average revenue per client and see whether it's going up or down. But currently the revenue has gone down. That is why I have put a red arrow going down. Return on capital employed, that has gone down from 18.2% to 17.2%. So arrow going down. KPI, security breaches, 141. Security breaches are down from 184 in X2, but financial impact has not been given. What is the financial impact of the security breaches? But should be lower than the last year, as breaches have gone down by 24%. The number of security breaches have gone down over the last year by 24%. But the KPI on security breaches is telling us the financial impact of the breaches. So financial impact is not given. It could be that on a day of exam, you get an exhibit where the financial impact of the security breaches is given. But currently we know the number of breaches. Please tell me, has the number of breaches gone down significantly from the last year? And they've gone down by 24%, right? They've gone down by 24%. So security breaches, why am I showing the arrow in red? Red means something going down, something negative, right? So let me change the arrow. Security breaches have gone down, but let's change the color of the arrow. It's going down for something favorable, not for something bad. It's going down something favorable. The down here is good, right? The down up is bad. Let me add a text here. This down, the down means bad. Over here, the down means bad. The down means bad. Over here, the security breaches down means good. Is that clear to all of you? Are you all fine? The down means good and the down means bad. But in some areas we have gone down, but that is bad. In some areas we've gone down, but that's good. Next, operational KPIs. In operational KPIs, service availability, we was given that service availability was 96%. Last year it was 94%. So in terms of service availability, we have improved as a business. Capacity utilization, no data was given. I cannot do anything. Service reliability, no data was given. Security breaches, 141. Last year it was 184. So number of security breaches. And what was in the financial KPI? Financial impact of breaches. The financial impact of breaches. So we have given no data of the financial impact on breaches, but we have been given the number of breaches. The number of breaches have gone down from 184 to 141. So over here, the down is good. The down is not bad. The down is good, right? Okay, the last thing, SaaS. Currently, we're not offering SaaS. So you might be asked a question to evaluate whether to offer SaaS or not. But have we identified some potential developments which will take place in future for SaaS in the question? Was the examiner giving us that the future developments in SaaS could be business intelligence, quantum computing, artificial intelligence, and machine learning? So if NCTECH opt for SaaS, should they be well versed about developments in SaaS? Should they have a good idea about developments taking place in SaaS as NCTECH? Because currently they're not offering it, right? So please read my notes here under the heading of SaaS. Business intelligence was given, quantum computing was given by examiner, artificial intelligence and machine learning. I've written over here, please do read the article on World of Intelligent Agent because it covers artificial intelligence and machine learning. And that brings us to the last page. Thought process. Yes, exactly. If you are offering SaaS and PaaS has to be bundle of that because a lot of features of SaaS and PaaS are comparable, right? So it could be that you need to offer SaaS. So before that, you also need to have a PaaS service as well, Adnan. My thought process last, and then I just conclude my discussion. Baldrige model, syllabus area H. Are you all familiar with the Baldrige model? Syllabus area H, performance excellence, yes or no? Can that be holistically applied in a certain, there might be a question asking you, evaluate the performance or performance excellence or something like Beldrich model. I believe that NCTECH can use the Beldrich model to gain competitive advantage, because Beldrich model can help NCTECH identify the areas where they need to improve upon or areas where they're performing well. Can Beldrich model give an holistic idea to the strategic leaders of NCTECH where they're going good, where they're going bad in the 6 areas? So can you do an exercise at home that you put the 6 headings of Beldrich model and assess NCTECH against the 6 headings? Can you do that? You put the 6 headings of Beldrich, and against every heading, try to see what information is given in the scenario to you. Will you be able to do it, all of you? Okay, just let me give you an assignment. Don't submit this assignment to me. This is just an assignment which will help you gain confidence. Put the 6 heads of the Baldrich model and put information against each available in the case. If no information is available, just simply write over there, no information available. But try to put the 6 heads of Beldrich and assess the performance of NCTECH against each one of them. That will give you another holistic idea of NCTECH case studies. SWOT analysis and the Beldrich performance excellence. I think these are 2 good models which can give you a good command on absorbing the case study around NCTECH. I hope this file, which I will share with you, lots of thought process, lots of tutor notes. If you read through these 8 pages of my file, take a printout. I hope this will really give you a good idea of what to do, what to think, where things can come from. I hope you will make a productive use of this Word file. Is that beneficial if I will share this with you? You must be having your own summary, but at least just take a printout and go through mine as well, because there might be some value additions which you can do in your own summary, or you can incorporate some of your points in my summary. So one summary has to be used, right? Either use mine or yours. So either add your points to my summary or either add my points to your summary, but should not keep 2 documents. All of you should have 1 document as a summary for NCTECH. Now it's up to you which one. Mine with your points coming in or yours with my points going there. But just keep 1, right? Okay, now one final thing, which is extremely important. Back to my PowerPoint presentation. Key articles which should not be missed out when you're reading through the NCTECH. 9 key articles which I think are important. Application of new technology, part 3, for the better understanding of cloud computing from syllabus area E. Internet of Things for artificial intelligence and machine learning from syllabus area E. Cyber security, because there are a lot of hacking issues, a lot of cyber security issues with cloud computing, and that is one of the risk. So a question around advantages or benefits of threats of cybersecurity. Examiner is very fond of that. Assessing organizational performance under syllabus area G, the article. KPIs versus the actual performance. 4 line of defense. I thought that is important. I just mentioned that. Under syllabus area D, the Beldrich model under syllabus area H, you will do that. You will do the 6 plottings of Beldrich and try to find information against that from the pre-scene at home. Integrated reporting framework, because that's a frequently asked question in SBL. Culture and configuration. They might ask you a question on culture, that how the culture have changed since the company was formed 10 years ago, because 10 years ago, they were not a listed company. In the last 5 years, they have become a listed company with institutional investors coming in. So in the last 5 years, they have changed in terms of their culture. When they were established by the 3 engineers. Now, 5 years down the road, they got listed and the composition changed in. Philosophy changed in, values changed in. So culture and configuration, the application of cultural web, and finally, strategic planning process part 2 article. In the strategic planning process part 2 article, we have been given an idea how you evaluate a strategic option. A question whereby you need to evaluate the strategic option of SaaS or PaaS. The part 2 article would really help you, like suitability, acceptability, feasibility, because in the part 2 article, examining team has given us about the SAF model as well. In the part 2, the examining team has given us about the strategic choice. And I foresee strategic choice as important. I've repeated that multiple times today. SAF model, suitability, acceptability, feasibility of a given choice of the management in the case study. 9 important articles which I foresee as important around the pre-scene, which I've just debriefed with you. Now, honestly, tell me, have you absorbed something out of the pre-scene debrief today, and has it added value to the reading you have done? Have you gained something? That is my question, basically. Yes, Laureen, on page 7, it is mentioned that they are fully compliant with corporate governance, but it is not true. Yes, it is not true because they are facing some issues in governance. They have not changed directors for last 5 years. There are weaknesses in some of the committees. So that statement is not true, right? So I hope you're clear with that, Laureen, right? So your answer is within your question. Okay, so have you gained something from your reading to my reading? I didn't went very depth, but I just had a holistic view of industry and NCTECH, the issues within them. And I just classified things into headings. SWOT heading number 1, Beldrich heading number 2, which you will be doing, governance, we had risk, we had issues relating to mission and values, and we had issues relating to KPIs and the actual performance. So when you take a printout of my summary, that is segregated into different areas, and each area you can revise and read the articles relevant. So I hope you will largely benefit from this pre-scene content and pre-scene material. Just one last recap. Just looking at these 8 pages here. Yes, you can. Because I just mentioned that, Muhammad Rayan, that a question around evaluating the company's performance versus the KPI, because there are a lot of KPIs given this time. So management examiner might give you a certain exhibit where you need to evaluate the company's performance against those stated KPIs. So that is quite likely. Okay, now can you see the first 2 pages on your screen is about SW, then the second page is about ONT. So that's one whole picture. Then you go down and you look at a page on governance. Then you see a whole page on risk. Then you see a whole page on mission and core values. Then you see a whole page on KPIs and the actual performance where possible. Then you see a whole page on SaaS and what sort of developments can take place in SaaS. And currently the company is not offering SaaS. So that is all one page. And then the last part is doing the Beldrich model, putting all the 6 heads of Beldrich and doing an analysis, which is your assignment at home. No need to show that to me for checking purpose. I hope these 8 pages would help you. Ethics was there in values, right? If you see the values of the companies, there is a bit of reflection of ethics there. So there could be something in a real exhibit around ethics. See over here, promote and show integrity and openness. So there might be a certain exhibit in the exam paper where they're not showing it. And you might link it back to their ethics, saying that this is one of the stated ethics to demonstrate integrity. So there might be a real case in real exhibit, which is showing something against integrity of NCTECH. Integrity and openness is mentioned in ethics, right? I think one of the students asked that question, Chibwana. Chibwana, I hope you're clear with that, right? Okay, so this is it. I'm just closing my session. Big data, I don't find any relevance of big data currently within the pre-scene. Could be in a real exhibit, but we've seen big data a couple of times in recent papers, so just not be ignoring it. It is one of a core area, no doubt about that. One of the favorite area of examiner, big data and integrated reporting. But again, currently in my understanding of pre-scene, no. Yes, Laureen, leadership is a core area. Knowing the styles of leadership, knowing the traits of leadership. These are some things which you should have on your fingertips. So what are we understanding from pre-scene, Laureen? It's not that this is the only syllabus you should know. No, you should know the whole syllabus, right? Because on the day of exam, there could be an exhibit which tests leadership. On the day of exam, there could be an exhibit which could test big data. So are we going into the exam hall with 100% syllabus or just a syllabus around pre-scene? Laureen, the 100% syllabus, right? So anything is possible. But yes, on the basis of pre-scene, I didn't found anything around leadership or big data. So I didn't touch upon that. I hope you're clear. So I'll upload this Word file. I've already uploaded my presentation on the portal. You can see that, but I'll be uploading the annotated version of the pre-scene, and I'll be uploading this Word file shortly. So I hope you benefited this from the pre-scene. I'm just wrapping up my session now. Wish you all the very best of luck and success. Please ensure you go through examiner feedback, which is important that the primary source of answer is the exhibits on the day of exam. You might use information from pre-scene, but that's not the primary source. The purpose of pre-scene is just to make you familiar with the type of organization you will be facing on the day of exam. I hope you got that. These files will be uploaded right in the next couple of hours with the recording. So just be like 3 to 4 hours from now. Thank you. Wish you all success. Study effectively. Take care. Your tutor, Kashif Kamran, signing off from this debrief for pre-scene. Thank you.